Did you call bank? I called game.
What's good, podcast world, and welcome back to another installment of Charge It to the Game. As always, I'm your host, Rome. Got the fellas in the house. What's good, fellas?
Welcome. Another edition.
Another edition, baby. Full house, Jay. How nice of you to meet us again, brother. I mean, we missed your last show.
Don't do that.
What do you mean, bro? I mean, we was putting in work last show. I mean, you just left us high and dry. Easter weekend. I mean, you just big timed us. You know what I mean?
Hey, look, ladies and gentlemen. I hate to have to do this, but I was told, we may want to record the pod. I say, okay, cool, we could do it later. Maybe about 30 minutes later. Hey, Jay, what's the link? What's the login link so we can get this started?
Stop it.
Well, you know I'm a team player, folks, so I sent that over.
The show must go on. The show must go on.
The show waits for nobody. You hear me? So, but no, it's all good, bro. It's good to have you back in the building, man. But hey, we got a lit show for you guys today, man. We really feeling good. Like I said, the whole crew is in the building. As always, be sure to subscribe on all major platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube page. We're all there. 5-star ratings, reviews, everything. We've got a great show ahead for you guys today. So we're doing the AFC West. Really hot division we got going on there. We're also going to chat a little bit about the LA NBA teams today. So we're going to be talking Lakers and Clippers, two teams on the opposite ends of the spectrum. Clippers are kind of ramping up for that playoff push. Kawhi is no longer taking games off due to rest all the time. PG is stepping his game up. And the Lakers are just continuing to keep falling down in the standings due to AD and LeBron being out. But and then we'll always close with bets, as always. But fellas, let's chat a little bit about the AFC West, man. I mean, so I guess let's chat a little bit about Denver. Denver, man, interesting story. I guess the highlight of Denver, I mean, they really got to find a QB, man. I mean, Drew Luck is really fucking it up. I just don't know why they fucking it up, bro. It's straight like that, man. They fucking it up big time, man. I mean, he was a former first-round pick. They're going to be in the market for a QB heavy or offensive tackle, but I think they're going to really, really need to take a hard look at one of these QBs if they start falling. I'm going to let you guys go ahead and kick it off. How you guys feeling about Denver, man?
Go ahead, Steve.
Well, Broncos, again, like you said, they need to upgrade at quarterback. They did. They're bringing Von Miller back, so he should be able to add something to them from that perspective. They signed Ronald Darby, cornerback, to give him some cornerback depth.
That's a good sign.
Yeah, so he was with Washington last year, solid player, so that will definitely help them. And then, of course, Von Miller back is like a free agent since he missed last year, so that should definitely help as well for them. But their main issue is they've got to solve their quarterback situation and either roll with Drew Lock or draft another quarterback.
They better not, man. One of my closest homeboys, man, Justin, is a real, true Denver Broncos fan, man. He's locally here in the Maryland area, and I just know he's probably just killing himself. Like, what in the hell do we have to do to get a QB in the building, man? I mean, Denver, they just really need QB help. Drew Luck is really just not working out. He's been injured. He can't throw. He can't read, his he doesn't go down his progressions. I just don't know what else to say. I mean, but like you said, I think better days are ahead. I mean, where else can you go, right? I mean, they did sign Ronald Darby, the cornerback for Washington. They did bring in Kyle Fuller. So, I mean, they're gonna be solid at the cornerback slots, man. I mean, those are two veteran corners, nice. Kyle Fuller's a great corner. I don't even know why Chicago let him go. Maybe it's money, or I don't know, but they brought in him. And then, I mean, they brought in, looks like...
So they re-signed Kareem Jackson, who's a safety.
Yeah, Kareem Jackson.
It's a veteran safety, so that's... Yeah, so they went heavy defensive backfield in free agency.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something to help them out. I mean, they just... like you said, with having Vaughn back, having that edge elite threat, I still think Vaughn has playing years left ahead of him. And then you got, Bradley Chubb on the other side to, help out. So, I mean, their defense is going to be solid. And they got young offensive firepower, right? That's the biggest thing. I mean, they got Melvin Gordon at the running back position. Although they did let Philip Lindsay walk, who's a really, a younger guy, fast running back. But they do got Melvin Gordon. They got former first-round pick at tight end to help out. And then they brought in his boy from Missouri as well to help, they tried to help Drew Lock out, but that's not even working for him. So I think they're just going to be in the market for a QB. I guess, Jay, how you feeling about Denver?
I think that Denver has a very good roster on paper. I do think they're missing quarterback. I don't think that a quarterback will fall this year because now people are really attacking the quarterback position. I think that Mac Jones, I believe, may be there by the time they pick, but I don't think at the Denver pick.
Whoa. Man, I don't know if Mac Jones is going to be there, big guy. I ain't going to lie to you.
Rumors saying he may be top 5. Yeah, top 5 now.
Don't let that fool y'all. Don't let that fool y'all.
Come on, man.
We can go back and revisit, and when that happens or when a draft happens. But either way, I don't think that Denver makes the move up, trade up for it. I know that Atlanta may be looking to trade out too. That's what I'm hearing, but I haven't heard the teams they may be associated with. Trading out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, I think Denver's.
So Denver picks 9th. So the key is going to be if one of the QBs, maybe Trey Lance, drops to them at 9, but the QBs seem to be rising.
Yeah, the QBs. There's no way. Like there's literally no way, in my opinion, that.
You don't think nobody falls, like a QB falls, like a Justin Fields or Lance? Nobody.
No, unless Atlanta switches out of that spot, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Rumors here today in Washington is that the Washington football team are thinking about trading up to get Trey Lance, and
I heard the same thing.
Yeah, so they're talking about trying to trade up to 4 with the Falcons, and then the other rumors are Patriots trying to go up to 4 to get Justin Fields.
And you see what I'm saying? So like that, and I think that those teams will likely be able to get rid of pieces or willing to give pieces to get that versus Denver. And also you got to think about it too. Denver's never really the team that's super horrible, so their draft picks are not really like super like, oh yeah, we get high draft picks. So
right.
I think they kind of rough spot. I mean, they may end up. I don't think they get a QB because they may end up getting like another Drew Lock, and they don't want that.
I mean, it has those precursors to see that happen. I mean, I just see they just need a QB. I mean, I think they tried to make efforts for veteran QBs. I think they tried to push for Matt Stafford. He didn't want to come, and he ultimately went to the Rams, which is a great move. But I just think Denver's just done with Drew Lock. I mean, they've shown him enough. And then the biggest thing with Drew is, like, he's still on that rookie deal. They're trying to move on from him now because at the end of the day, it's like he's going to be looking for a new deal. And it's like, do you want to pay Drew Lock, big top money? I mean, no. I mean, he hasn't shown.
No.
Yeah, hell no.
So
I mean, we're not...
if they go the free agent route, there's Alex Smith, who could be a possibility. He's still out there.
Yeah, he's just bacon bits. I mean, he's,
This man called him bacon bits.
Yeah.
Bruh, that's what he is.
It's slim pickings. I mean, AJ McCarron, free agent, still available, and maybe a RG3, but Yeah,
RG3 is
so it's very slim pickings now for a free agent quarterback.
Yeah, they're gonna have to
I
get
get
QB
that.
in the draft, man. I mean, I'm hoping, I'm rooting
So
for them.
or the trade market, Teddy Bridgewater
There
could
you
be
go.
could
That
be somebody.
That could be a
That's what I was
stopgap for
reading.
him. Yeah,
I was reading Teddy B may come to him. That's exactly what I was reading.
that's a
I
solid
like that.
stopgap. Yeah, I think that's a solid stopgap. To even if they don't get a QB that they want in this draft,
Yeah.
Bridgewater's a veteran guy. He knows what he's doing. He's not great, but he's solid. He's a starting QB or a backup. You know, he go out there and
Yeah.
win some games for you. Almost
Either
like a
him
Tyrod
or-
Taylor.
Or Alex Smith, yeah. Alex Smith's out there too. One of those two, I think, may be good for Denver. I'd lean probably more Bridgewater, just because of he's younger, but
Yeah.
and Teddy's proven it. I mean, everywhere he's been the perfect stopgap quarterback. He's well liked. He's smart, picks things up quick. So that could be a possibility. So now, their coach Fangio came from Chicago.
He loves defense.
Yeah, so we shall see. I mean, maybe. Well, I was thinking Trubisky, but he already signed with Buffalo. That would have
He's
been.
horrible.
That would have. I could have been a chance, but no. That's good.
He's
That's
bacon
done.
bits too. I ain't fuck with
Bacon
that. But anyway, man. I mean, Denver Broncos fans. I don't know what to tell you, man. You would be praying for a quarterback. You know, hopefully somebody falls to you. But anyway, no. But anyway, man. Jay, this is your world, baby. This is your division, man. Let's move on. Let's talk a little bit about the LA Chargers, man. LA, I mean, they had a weird season. I mean, they started off with Tyrod Taylor, and he got hurt, and the new guy on the block, man, he lit him up. This
Herbert.
guy put on a show. Herbert put on a show, man.
Yeah, so they I mean, and they have weapons. So they've got receiving weapons from Keenan Allen. They've got an offense pretty much set. I mean, they need to probably shore up the offensive line.
Right.
Let's see, free agent wise.
Yeah, free agent wise, they brought in Corey Lindsley from Green Bay, the center.
Again.
Yeah, they brought him back. They brought in Jared Cook to, I guess, a veteran tight end. They did lose Hunter Henry to free agency to the Patriots. You know, so Jared Cook's a serviceable dude. He did lose the New Orleans Saints that playoff game. Now, when I was there, I saw you fumble. Courtesy of Antoine Winfield Jr.
Junior.
Right, and that was the turning point of the game too when he fumbled.
I like their building around their quarterback. So yes, spent the most money on offensive linemen. I mean, they got Matt Feeler from the Steelers, serviceable tackle / guard. So they'll probably play him at guard. Gave him $21 million, which might be an overpay, but they gave him $21 million. He's a serviceable guard. Lindsey is a top form center. So definitely showing that they're surrounding their
He's a big
quarterback. Yeah, the quarterback's the investment. I mean, they Jared Cook, a big target to go along with all the receivers. I mean, Mike Williams is a big target. Keenan Allen is just
He's an elite receiver in the league, top 10 receiver.
Yeah, just consummate professional. And so, from that perspective, they had a good defense. I mean, the Chargers were in every game. They lost a lot of games in the fourth quarter.
They did. They just couldn't close the show. I mean, it's just that, like I said, it's Herbert's first season. He was first, sort of kind of thrust into the fire. I mean, he went into the season thinking that he was going to learn from Tyrod Taylor, and he got hurt, and then they just threw the kid out there, and they were like, let me see what you can do. And he showed him, like, hey, this is me. Like, I'm here to stay. And he just put on a real show for us, man. He just threw the ball well. He's making his reads, and I saw him firsthand. Like when I don't know if you guys remember when the Chargers played the Bucks. I mean, I just penciled that game as an automatic W for us. You know what I mean? But I'm sitting there watching the game. I mean, he was out there balling. He was throwing bombs. He's throwing slants. He's reading defenses. He just lit us up, man. I mean, he picked us apart, and That's what he did pretty much almost all season until a little bit later on in the season where, it was a little bit more film on the kid and they knew what his tendencies were. But that happens to almost every QB. They take away his first read and the game is a little bit more faster that way. So, I mean,
yeah. So I mean, they have a new coach, got a defensive coach, the former coordinator from the Rams, and so Brendan Staley. So so they're going to be, and I mean, they got talent on defense. It's really, I mean, from Joey Bosa to if they sign Melvin Ingram, it's possibility to continue that. So.
I don't think Melvin's coming back either. I mean,
is he a free agent?
Rams.
Yeah, he's a free agent.
Yeah, he's a free agent.
Wow, still?
He's still there.
Wow.
Yeah, I wanted the not the Rams. I wanted the Raiders to get him, but
yeah.
I don't know. I'm not really worried about them. I think their defense lost them a lot of games, in my opinion. I wouldn't put that on Justin. Justin was the reason why they were in dang near every game. It's crazy how they'll lose it. I'm not worried about that at all. Gus Bradley, I think that still, when the defense was at its peak and he had the defense going, that's someone I've been worried about. But as time faded, year,
I mean, they'll get Derwin James back, which is huge.
They will. That is huge. But
yeah,
I mean,
he was hurt
gotta
last
wait
season.
to see. Yeah, that's true. But I gotta wait to see how the Rams coordinator does here. I mean, Rams have just a solid, really, really good defense no matter what. I think it may be in a different type of organization. Mm-hmm. San Diego's always been kind of like, oh, we're all right, but we've never been top notch. Just one of those things. So
yeah,
Rams kind of have been a prime time team for, I mean, a few times in as far as my lifetime. So that's always been a thing. San Diego, not so much.
Yeah, so that's gonna be the key. If they bring Ingram back, I mean, between him and Bosa, that's two. Yep. I mean, really strong bookends to rush the quarterback. So that's definitely to their benefit.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I think Chargers. I mean, with them, everybody coming back healthy. I know Keenan Allen was out some games last year. He was hurt and banged up. And everything, and like you said, helping Herbert out. I mean, bringing in a veteran, maybe top 10, top 15 center in the league, and Corey Linsley from the Green Bay. I mean, that was their starting center, guys. I mean, and for them to bring in a veteran guy like that to help out the kid, I think it's great. I mean, I know also Eckler was Austin Eckler, the running back. For the Chargers, he was almost out most of the season, man. I mean. And so he really had no running game. It was really like, nobody really feared the Chargers' rushing attack. So it's just like drop everybody back in coverage, and he still lit them up. I mean, it's really impressive. I mean,
with Pouncey retiring, their longtime center, Mike Pouncey, so they needed to make that. I think they had an upgrade with Lindsey.
I think they did well. I think they absolutely did well. I think they did the smart thing in investing in Justin. That was the best move they could have done.
Right.
Honestly.
And I think with I guess they're linking. They got the 13th overall pick in the draft. They're linking them to help out, the guy again with some more offensive line helping them get at the 13th overall pick. They're linking them to Rashawn Slater, the offensive tackle out of Northwestern. Really solid player, and hopefully he can come.
3 year starter, most complete tackle available in this draft. They say the Penei Sewell from Oregon has more upside, but Slater's someone they can definitely plug in day one.
Yep.
And start right away. So yeah, if he slides to them, that's another solid player to add against supporting Justin Herbert.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think just adding him to the mix. I mean, and in this division, I mean, you got the Chiefs, you got Oakland, who's there, and then you got Denver, who's just there. You know what I mean? So I mean, we'll see how it goes. I mean, I like the Chargers. I mean, I wanna see them succeed, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, with the new coach and the new organization and the new shift and power and all of that, we'll see. Let's talk a little bit about Kansas City, guys. So I think we all know the story. Kansas City. I mean, they won the Super Bowl the year before. And then this year they were hot. They started to cool off a little bit towards the playoffs. I mean, they really almost lost to Cleveland. I can't believe I almost said that. They really did almost lose to Cleveland in that playoff game. Then they blew out the Bills, and then they just got dismantled against the Bucks. They just, we all saw what happened. I mean, the Bucks defensive line just got after them. Vita Vea, Jason Pierre-Paul, Shaq Barrett, just ran straight at Patrick Mahomes, and he just didn't have time to throw. I guess they did retool that offensive line though. So
so both tackles got hurt for them during the playoff run. Mm-hmm. They didn't even bring those guys back, so they're not willing to wait. Both of them had torn ACLs. Both of them were released. Yeah. And so they spent money on Joe Thuney, who's one of the best guards in the game from New England. Gave
Solid
him
pickup. I like that.
$80 million. So that's a definite upgrade. They did re-sign Mike Remmers, who was one of their tackles, and so, but I mean, didn't invest too much. Gave him a 1-year deal at $3 million.
Right, something to bring him back.
Yeah, so they invested in the offensive line to help Patrick Mahomes. I mean, they signed a guy from the Raiders, I guess as depth, Austin Blythe, who was just average.
Yeah. I mean, he's solid. I mean, he was a decent center for the.
Actually, he was with the Rams. The Rams, yeah, the Rams.
Yeah.
I'm about to say.
Yeah. So.
Jay, you know your Raiders, huh? He was like, you don't sound like nobody I know. But
hold on, I may be missing something. I'm not supposed to be wrong. That was like, hold on. I'm tripping.
But Austin Bala, he was a starter for the Rams. But go ahead, Jay.
No, I'm about to say no. I don't think they did too bad. I think Kansas City problem is I think Kansas City kind of fucked themselves because there was reports going that they actually was up to Trent Williams heavy, and when Trent went to San Francisco, and San Francisco redid the contract, and they were like, oh shit, when they started redoing the line. So
they only brought Remmers back 1 year, $3 million. So that was like, hey, just brought back. And the sad part is, I mean, the left tackle, he tore his ACL in the AFC Championship game. Yeah. And so they don't think he'll be back before the season starts, so they released him.
Was that Fisher?
Yeah. So that's the ugly side of football.
I mean they're definitely redoing the line. And I know their priority is to protect, Patrick Mahomes, realizing what has happened.
They have been in the receiver market. I mean they've struck out, but they've gone after a lot of the top receivers. They've just come up short.
Did they? I didn't know that.
Yeah, so they were they were in the mix for Juju. They were in the mix for who was it? They ended up losing Sammy Watkins.
Oh yeah.
And he ended up going to Baltimore. Yeah. So that's a spot where they need a replacement. They were trying to get an upgrade over Sammy, and then they lost Sammy too. Yeah.
Sammy be injured, and he only comes back in the playoffs. And when he did come back, when he usually comes back in the playoffs, he does work. This time, it didn't, prove to be too well. So he didn't do too well. So I don't know. I think Kansas City kind of was always trying to make the better move, but they kind of struck out this season. So another vulnerable team, and they're gonna be competitive, but.
Yeah. So looking at probably best available. Mostly veterans, receiver-wise, who are available. So we'll see. I mean, between Larry Fitzgerald or a Golden Tate, there's really So it's really, I think, with them. I mean, their MO is speed receivers down the field since Patrick Mahomes can throw it 100 yards.
Yeah, I mean, the Chiefs, like I said, I mean, they got a lot of issues on the offensive line, but like I said, the thing is with the Chiefs, they have Patrick Mahomes. He masks a lot of weapons, not only on the field but off the field for the whole organization. It's just incredible. I mean, he's something like I've never seen before. I mean, the guy is incredible. Even though, I mean, he just got dismantled against the Bucks in the playoffs, but I mean, just having him under center. being the best. He's the best QB in the league, man, by far. I mean, there's just no arguing with it. You know, I'm a Bucks fan. I mean, I support my guy Tom, but Tom's not the best QB in the league. You know what I mean? I mean, he's top 5, give him that. But Patrick Mahomes is just incredible. Just the things that he does when he has time to throw the ball down the field. I mean, they're trying to give him some weapons. I mean, they
draft well. They take chances. They drafted Edwards-Helaire last year in the first round, so that was definitely. They added a weapon. Their strength was their offense, and with the last pick of the first round, they decided, yes, we have defensive needs, but let's double down on our strength. And they brought in Edwards-Helaire. They added Le'Veon Bell mid-season, again, trying to double down on that running back position.
Yeah, it just didn't work out.
Yeah, so Andy Reid is an offensive coach. And so they're always trying to extenuate that and keep getting better on offense to score more points.
Right. And I think like you said, Andy Reid, I mean, he just runs that same system, man. I mean, with every team that he's with. I mean, he did it with Philly with McNabb for all of those years. Made McNabb look great. And then now he's doing it with even better, more talented QB with Mahomes, where he has these, the system where he has a pass-catching running back, which is like, and then now they got, like you said, Edwards-Helaire, who's a more between the tackles threat. And then, like you said, Le'Veon Bell didn't really work out for him. They did help him out a little bit. I mean, they brought back a familiar face in Demarcus Robinson, who's the receiver. I mean, they let him test the free agency market for a little bit, but he didn't get a deal. So they ended up bringing him back. I mean, the running back with Damian Williams, who was, he was in the mix. He was playing a little bit. They let him go. He's now with Chicago. And then, like you said,
yeah, I think he skipped the season. He sat out the season with COVID.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he did. Yeah. So I mean, then they didn't even, bother to even bring Rashad Breeland back at cornerback. I mean, they're gonna need some cornerback help too, though. I mean, they just on the outsides, they really got exposed. I don't know really what's going on with them at the CB, the cornerback spot, but they really should try to get a veterans cornerback to help them out. I mean, they have a late first round pick. I don't know who can fall to them at cornerback, or maybe even the defensive lineman. I see them linking them to this guy was Orr from Penn State. I don't know if he falls that far. I mean, because he's an incredible athlete.
He ran a 4.3.
Oh my gosh, that's just amazing! Like how he's huge. He's like 6'5", like 260. He ran 4.3 or 4.4.
But he doesn't play at that speed. So when you watch the tape, you don't see that athleticism. The guy who stands out on tape is Parsons.
Mitch Parsons.
Oh, yeah, man. Micah Parsons. And then the other guy is just an athletic freak. Right. So
he's just a weight room warrior. Hey Jay, he reminds me of that dude that just got knocked out. You know what I'm talking about? Oh my god! And if you can remember, during his draft, when he was getting drafted, I mean, he was just an athletic freak. I think when he was coming out of Maryland, he was like 6'8", 300 and something pounds, ran 4.7, and that's a big boy. Now he's sitting here getting knocked out at your local WalMarts and shit.
Slapped, all right.
Typical Raider. Typical Raider.
Whoa, shots fired.
Hold on. Let me go ahead and correct this narrative now. I get tired of hearing them say Raiders, ex-Raider. We drafted him, which means we had him early, but he's bounced around for many more teams after he left us. So everyone, watch your mouths.
I'm looking at the article right here. Former Raider Bruce Campbell.
Why is it just former Raider, huh?
Knocked out at Walmart.
They want the Raiders to look so bad.
After challenging random stranger.
Oh man, he was out there picking up a pack of diapers. Got knocked out.
He got to put on a diaper because he shit himself. Imagine going to the store to go get some diapers.
The sad part is the guy had already left, and Campbell calls him back with his big ass. Campbell, you want this smoke? You want this smoke?
Bro, that is so embarrassing. The most embarrassing thing was just see him being that fucking big, and you see the ladies in the video like, oh, this dude, I don't know this dude big and muscular. They're like, oh, I don't know, this dude got hands though.
She said the other dude looked like he can fight.
He sure can.
I think the exact quote was, he looked like he about that life. Like, so the big dude against the dude who can fight.
It just shows you, man.
know,
I mean,
them hands.
yeah. Hey, tell him, Jay. Tell him about them hands, man.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, them hands can get caught by anybody, any size. So,
Right.
you people that's like, oh, we're bigger than the next individual, you better watch it. Some people got a chip on their shoulder and they're ready to throw them.
Right.
So
So you just gotta watch your mouth. You don't know who you're talking to. You think you're the big man? You get your pump in at the gym. You go to your local LA Fitness or Gold's Gym or something like that. Then you walk in your local Walmart to pick your son up a pack of diapers. Next thing you know, you out here getting laid out. You know what I mean?
your wife and your girl see
Right.
And then the worst of it, it's all over the internet, so everybody's seen it.
Could you imagine coming
So
back to where he
embarrassing.
need to go and saying, "Oh, what took you so long?" Man, them lines was long, and then next thing you know, a video pops up, you get knocked out. Man,
Oh shit, man! That was some funny shit, man. But anyway,
Absolutely.
that wraps up Kansas City, man. I mean, let's talk about a little about your squad, Jay. So, man, Oakland. So this is what they wanted. So they got John Gruden. I mean, they brought in Mayock, your boy Mayock. They had a tough season last season, man. I mean, the offense was all right. I mean, Derek Carr, he just flamed out towards the end of the season. I mean, they just can't play defense, man. I mean, I think that's
Their defensive backs are
they're atrocious, man.
they need an upgrade.
I think one of us
we
can
have
go out
one
there and play
corner.
defensive back for them, man. I mean, god damn.
Relax, all right. All right. Your
Sometimes
I'm
they-
just
they-
saying,
they,
bro.
They out there looking like a high school team,
Right.
confused,
Bruh.
pointing at each other while dudes running 80 yards for touchdown.
Oh gosh. See, I want to. Okay, look.
You should have showed up
like
last
this.
show. That's why we flaming you right now.
I'm
Right?
put it like this. Trey Mullen and Abraham are probably the only people that we have on the back end as far as our secondary that's worth mentioning. Those guys are pretty solid. Abraham can't stay in the game; he stays injured.
Yeah.
But Trey Mullen is pretty good. I like Trey from Clemson.
Yeah, I
He's
like
been
him.
there for a while. I think our linebacker core is pretty decent as well. It's just that we
Are
need
they?
a coordinator, and we got
Oh.
Gus. I think that Gus is going to bring out the best
Gus who?
in our team.
Who's Gus?
Bradley.
Oh, Gus Bradley.
Oh,
Gus Bradley.
man, you,
Yeah, Gus
you
Bradley.
don't know Gus. Like, who the hell is?
Yeah.
He acting like he a Hall of Famer.
Nah, man, but I mean, he's known for
I'm-
creating solid defensive schemes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
so
just
they're going
fucking with
to play
you. I
that
know about
old Seattle defense that everybody plays.
it.
Yeah, and I've been shouting to get our defensive coordinator.
Problem with every
swapped.
team is they don't have the Legion of Boom back there to play that defense.
That's fine, but what teams are taking that mode?
That's a big part of what made that defense good.
Yeah.
That's true, but what team has taken that? What team has taken that mode though?
What the-
So Atlanta tried
yeah.
with Dan Quinn. Then they
I
had
think we have better players than Atlanta on defense, man.
and then San Diego was running the defense with Gus Bradley over the last couple years.
We're definitely not better than San Diego defense, but I think we're kind of like one corner away,
Right.
at least for that. Oh, and we're at safety away.
So
Yannick was a big
so
man.
they invested heavily in the defensive line. So that's
Yes.
Y'all made a lot of
Free agency-wise.
moves, man. I'm looking at this free agency list. You guys made hella moves. Y'all sick of losing, bro. Like y'all signed Yannick Ngakoue from Baltimore. He was played with Baltimore last year. He's
Him and Max Crosby at the end is going to be crazy.
and my boy Max is an absolute monster, man. He's a hidden gem. I mean, he's crazy. He's a 10 sack per year guy. They
two
got
former first-round pick linemen, defensive linemen, with Jonathan Hankins from Ohio State and Solomon Thomas from Stanford. So
Yep.
yeah. They're trying to retool it.
I'm excited for Solomon. I think we're going a lot big. We're going big. I think we did a good blend of potential versus what we have. Yannick was more so guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get sacks from him, Max and Crosby. That can help a lot. Then you have Solomon bringing up that I thought was a solid prospect coming out.
Quentin Jefferson played well last year for Buffalo too. So that's
yeah. I'm about to say Quentin Jefferson did pretty well too. So I think we kind of did a good blend on that. I think Mayock and Gruden did pretty well in that regard. Now, what I don't like is signing Cam Drake.
Why not? I mean, but you needed somebody, man. Your boy, we even talked about it off there, man. I mean, he was getting smacked. Josh Jacobs, what the hell happened? He was out there fumbling, and I mean, he just had a fumble problem. What happened to him?
Yeah, I'm about to say, no, he still got his yard. He still did what he did, but the fumbles was absolutely crazy. I don't know what happened this year. That was really it. Like he sunk in so many games.
They added
with those fumbles.
Theo Riddick, re-signed Theo Riddick, Notre Dame guy.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. I like that as well.
Mayock has an affinity for Notre Dame. He used to call their games.
And Clemson.
Yeah.
And Clemson. Oh gosh, it's almost disgusting. It's like relax, but no. The interesting part about us is going to be our line. Right?
Yeah.
We let go a lot of people on our line. I think we have some in-house talent that we resigned that a lot of people scratch their heads on, but I think it will actually bode well. So it really depends on our line. I like John Brown as well, too.
Nick Martin's a good center from Houston.
He is. I like Nick Martin, too.
Yeah, they got a couple veteran receivers, Willie Snead from Baltimore.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I mean, he just played at Baltimore.
Remember, don't forget Brown. Don't forget Brown from Buffalo.
Well, John Brown. Yeah. I mean, you guys are, like I said, you guys are making some moves, man. You wouldn't end up letting Tyrell Williams go. I mean, Tyrell Williams, he was once upon a time a decent receiver, but he was hurt most of the season last year. And I mean, like I said, they brought in John Brown and Willie Snead. Willie Snead can still ball, man. He just played with Baltimore, and like I said, Baltimore. I think we said this on a previous show. Baltimore runs their gimmick offense, and that's why they're not really going to get some of those elite receivers because their stats and their numbers aren't going to go, really skyrocket because of their gimmick offense. They don't throw the ball down the field. They don't run scheduled plays. It's more read option based, and then we'll see what happens, that type of thing. But I mean, with Oakland, like I said, I mean they're really
Vegas.
Yeah. Sorry, Vegas. Yeah, so
I was ready to correct you. I was gonna let you get out what you said, but it's all right.
Man, they might have to move back to Oakland, man. I mean,
nah. They need to be Vegas. A few hours away from me. I love me some Vegas.
Oh boy, here we go. But yeah, I mean, you guys, what are you guys looking at trying to get in the draft? I see them linking them to this linebacker out of Kentucky. Was it Jermaine Davis? I mean, do you guys have a linebacker, a middle linebacker that can help out, or does this seem like a guy that can help you guys out?
So I don't think we tackle linebacker.
You're right.
I don't think we tackle linebacker. We just re-signed Nicholas Merrill back. So I'm not saying if he's our third, like more so our third string linebacker, that's a pretty decent squad. I mean, we still got Corey Littleton. Mm-hmm. I'm very, very high on. Like I said, I just think that we didn't have the defensive coordinator to put us, to utilize our linebacker core the way it's supposed to. Mm-hmm. So now that we're here with that, I'm like, okay, cool. I think we go offensive lineman. Mm-hmm. And we got rid of a lot. We got rid of a lot. Yeah. And like I said, we have Nick from Chicago that we got, and we got Corey Littleton from LA that we got too. So it's like, I don't think we really need help. They cover, they're great. I mean, I think we're fine linebacker. Okay. So,
all right, we'll see. I mean, as long as they get some type of secondary help at some point, because I mean, with Mahomes in that division, I mean, it's. But the odd thing is, you guys were the only other team that beat them other than this year, other than the Bucs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it just goes to show you, I mean, familiarity, you guys play them twice a year, you know what they're doing. And Derek Carr lit them up that game when they played. You know what I mean? So, he's a serviceable guy, and they're sticking with him. And, they got a lot of picks, I think, and they're going to let, these guys that were hired and John Gruden and Mike Mayock do their thing. Mike Mayock is he was before he was with the Raiders. He used to work for NFL Network and was talking about natural knee benders and shit like that. And now he's running the show. Going to be helping John put together a solid organization. So, I mean, we'll see how things shake out down there and with the Raiders.
Yeah, a lot depends on our draft.
Yeah.
A lot depends on our draft. I mean, like I said, we go O-lineman, but if there's a good free safety left, which we absolutely need, I think we should do that route because we only have one free safety on the squad right now, and it's needless to say his name because he's a bum. So we're gonna see how that goes. But yeah, I think we may go safety. So I'm switching my targets. Free safety there, we go get it, or offensive lineman. And I'm sticking with it. Okay.
Yeah, man. I mean, draft's only a few days or away. I mean, we're gonna see what's exactly gonna happen, man. Let's move on. Let's try chat a little bit about NBA, man. So I think this show, like I said, we want to chat a little bit about two teams on the opposite ends of the spectrum. Let's start off with the Clippers, man. I mean, the Clippers, they're heating up a little bit. They're winners of 2 straight. Yeah, and the 2 most recent wins, they beat Portland, which is actually a game that I bet on. Solid win. They beat them 133-116, and then they killed the LA Lakers 104-86 on Sunday, April 4th. I guess what do you think is going to happen, or what's going to need to happen for the Clippers to get out of the West?
It's really down to playoff P. if he plays well in the playoffs.
Playoff P?
Yeah.
Playoff who?
Right. The thing is, he gave himself that name. That's the most embarrassing. Right. Yeah, this is the dude that was... And I just laugh every time I hear Stephen A. Smith talk about him hitting the fucking side of the backboard in that fucking playoff game.
Now, the funniest was when he was in Oklahoma City and Carmelo and Russell Westbrook were at the press conference, and the reporter asked them, "What do you think of the emergence of the great playoff P?" And the two of them looked at each other like, "What?"
Like,
and he said, "The great playoff P." And he's like, "Playoff P? Who is that?" If you look at the clip on YouTube, it's hilarious. I mean, the way both of them react, it's just classic.
I look crazy like that too when you talk about a playoff P.
Right. And the thing is, he gave himself his own name. It's not like somebody anointed you. You know what I mean? Like, people, anoint people, crazy. But this dude like, I'm playoff P. Like, bruh, sit your ass down. But anyway, mate, hey, as much as we clown Paul George, he did have a solid game. Like I said, the winners are 2 straight.
And they added Rondo. That's going to be huge.
Yeah, so he's no longer running
veteran
the
point guard. Yeah. And then rumors are that Kawhi is going to sign an extension, so he'll be there for a long time.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, the whole playoff P thing. He's been playing better here of late. Like I said, since he's playing more of the off guard, he's not necessarily handling the ball as much, and everything like that. I mean, Paul George is a solid guy. I just wish he would just play his role a little bit more better. Just more, more fast paced. Not so much of in the half court. We're getting out on the break and getting easy buckets. He's a really good, solid defender. He's long, he's lengthy. He can probably guard up to about 4 different positions. He's quick. But I think for the Clippers, man, I mean, in that West, like I said, I think the West is kind of wide open, man. I mean, with LA having their struggles, and we'll talk about them in a minute. I mean, who else can really, I guess bang with LA? I mean, who you guys? Who other than that? I mean, like I said, I think Denver.
Utah.
I just don't think Utah just has enough.
And then maybe Phoenix Suns. Phoenix Suns can score.
Phoenix Suns.
They can score.
Yes,
I
sir.
say Phoenix Suns. I don't think can hang with them, but they're going to give them a good show. I think Phoenix Suns and Denver are on like that same. Denver, Utah, and and Phoenix Suns are on the tier below the Lakers and the Clippers, when healthy, of course.
Mhm.
I think Denver can possibly jump up to that tier 1. We will have to see, but
It all depends how far the Lakers fall. Because if they have to play the Clippers or the Suns or Utah in the first round,
That's trouble.
or even worse, or play in the playoff tournament format for the 8th seed.
Oh my God! You guys think they'll fall like that? You think they're gonna fall like that?
If they fall like that, they could see Portland.
Man, I would
with a
not want to
chip.
see. Oh, I don't want to see that. Man,
I'm not worried about Portland.
no. I mean, but I'm just saying, like, because they've had no chemistry all year.
Or maybe Zion and play the Young Bucks. I mean, it's if they keep falling, they may they may not have a tougher matchup than they planned in the first round.
Right. Yeah, I can see that happening, man. I mean, let's talk about the Lakers now. Go ahead.
On the other hand, though, they could be keeping LeBron and AD out on purpose. I mean,
Yeah.
waiting for the playoffs. I mean, they did just sign Ben McLemore.
He's balling.
From Houston. Yeah,
Yeah, he's a
He's
shooter.
balling, and Andre Drummond still. So like they got when they come back, they kind of got a little team to me, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean,
So
what in the hell is Kyle Kuzma doing? Is he stepping up to the plate at all now? I'm not really watching LA a ton,
yeah,
but
he's inconsistent. I mean,
Yeah,
and this should be his chance where he's getting minutes.
That's
he's
what I'm
getting
saying.
shots,
yeah,
and yeah, he's been inconsistent.
but Kuz been kind of injured too. At the same time, he's also been held out as well for a few games. I don't know. Like you're right. He's inconsistent. He has spurts. He'll give you a 30-5 game, a 16-7 game, 21-11 game, then give you a 6-7 game, 8-4 game. So.
And then they had the recent fight with Toronto, so Horton Tucker and Montrezl Harrell are going to be looking at a suspension.
that was funny.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
So that could, that could throw a wrench in their plans. Drummond injured. I mean, it's they just they're waiting for AD and LeBron.
Drummond's playing now too, though.
Yeah.
Drummond's now playing, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, they're still waiting for AD and LeBron.
Yeah, Drummond injured his foot or his toe.
Man,
He got his foot stepped on.
Jesus.
Yeah.
NBA.
I mean,
boy, I tell you.
We'll see. I think Drummond's playing now though. So
Yeah, so
we'll
he's
see
he's
points.
back. Yeah, so
Yeah.
so that's good.
Yeah, I think just with LA, man. Like I said, they're just like you said. They could be keeping AD and Braun out, and just resting them for the playoffs. They're gonna make it regardless, and then they can.
Yeah.
They're not really. They can really beat anybody, on any given night. It's just if a matter of if they really want to come to ball and if they really, really want to do what they want to do. So I mean, LA, like I said, they are sliding back, losing some spots in the standings. But I don't see them falling too far, and I see AD and Braun coming back. Does anybody have a timeline on when AD's coming back? He's been out a while, man. I don't know when the hell he's coming back.
Yes, I mean they were saying 3 weeks, but that was a week ago, so we'll see.
Yeah. So I guess we'll see when he comes back. I mean, let's talk a little bit about the bets, man. The Bucks have been hot, man. I was talking to one of my guys. It was when he was listening to the show. He was talking about the Bucks bets. I think they lost to the Golden State Warriors a few nights ago. That was a game when Giannis was out, man. You got to use common sense on that one, brother. If Giannis doesn't play out, I'm not taking the Bucks. You know what I mean? I'll take the plus points with the Bucks with Giannis being out. But if Giannis is out like he is tonight, I'm not taking the Bucks. But I guess what are you guys looking at as far as bets for this week?
I mean, there's some really good games. I mean, Saturday was supposed to be the primetime matchup, Lakers-Nets.
Mm-hmm.
Nets at home hosting the Lakers are too much. Nets are just a juggernaut. I mean, they dominate everybody. KD can miss games. Kyrie can miss games. Now they're back. Harden might be out with a sore hamstring, but yeah, Lakers, they play Saturday night. Lakers-Nets. I think the Nets are a strong consideration for a bet. That same night, Wizards are at Phoenix. Spread may be a lot, but take the Suns.
Right.
That is definitely the two that pop up to me right now.
Yeah. I think with me, man, I mean, I'm looking at a game here on tomorrow night, April 9th, Friday night game. So I'm looking at here the 76ers and the Pelicans. My boy is back. MVP is back. Joel Embiid. So if he plays, I feel comfortable taking that bet with them against the Pelicans. Him doing work in the post. I won a little bit of money on the game a few nights ago. Actually, big money. When the 76ers played Boston, they just killed them. I mean, Embiid gave them a 40-piece and some change. Well, close to a 40-piece. But, I like that game, depending on what the money line and the spread is. And then, I guess, staying on that same night, I mean, I'm looking at the Bucks again. I mean, my Bucks, if Giannis plays, I like the Bucks. If he does not play, I'll look elsewhere. But I don't think the spread will be crazy with Milwaukee against tomorrow night, Friday night, April 9th, when they play the Hornets. So as long as Giannis plays, I'm okay with that bet. And then also staying on that same night, the Wizards and the Warriors. If Bradley Beal does not play, some games he's been sitting out, or I don't know if he's dealing with an injury, I'm okay with taking the Warriors in that one. It's a late game, so it gives you some time. So if you do, in fact, win your two early games, even if you can parlay them with the 76ers and the Bucks, you can turn around and bet that money on Golden State in the late game. Jay, what are you looking at?
Friday, I'm looking at taking Indiana, possibly a parlay. I'm looking to take, like you said, Milwaukee Bucks. If Giannis is playing, I'm looking to take that. I'm also looking to take. Denver as well. I'm kind of going cliche, knowing teams that's going to win for the most part. I may do Chicago Bulls. I think Atlanta has been doing well too. The spread is pretty close, depending on how it drops in that. And Bulls may be a little tired from back-to-back games, but I think Bulls will possibly win, but their fall off is going to come soon. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can look at that with risk, because that may be the fall off game for Bulls to start losing. But I'm gonna ride that train a little bit longer.
Yeah, I mean,
see how that goes.
I think that's a solid bet, man. I mean, we'll see how that goes. One more thing before we go, guys. I know we didn't, plan on talking about it. How are you guys feeling about that Sam Darnold trade? Him going to Carolina.
Beautiful.
You like it?
I love it.
Yeah. Z, how you feeling?
To be determined. I'm not sold on Sam Darnold.
I'm not either, but McCaffrey.
Yeah.
They'll surround him with weapons.
Two young guys.
They got good receiving core, good running backs.
Yeah, I mean, he's still young. Sam Darnold, a lot of people got to understand. Sam Darnold, I think he's like 23 years old. I think there's a few guys in the draft that are like 22, 23. He's like a year older than them, or at least the same age, and he has experience. So I think with Carolina, I mean, they get him, they gave him, a few picks. I mean, they still got their first round. They didn't trade a first for him, I don't think. So, I mean, they can still use that on a solid player and help him out. And they still got weapons on the outside.
I was reading an article where they said an unidentified NFL GM said, and this is a quote, "Unfortunately, the traits of mental processing and consistency when throwing the football are Sam's biggest weaknesses."
Man, that's tough to come back from, man. I wish he did not say it. He might have ruined the kid's career. You know what I mean? So, that's a telling sign.
Yeah, that's almost disrespectful.
Yeah, when they say stuff about your mental your mental altitude, I mean that's bad stuff, man.
Yeah, you can't get down the playbook, bro. That's a problem.
Yeah, well, at least he's in my division. I mean, I can count up 2 W's.
You remember when he played the Patriots and he said he thought he saw ghosts? It felt like there was 20 people out there.
Yeah, he shouldn't have said that, man. This ain't high school.
Was hilarious. hilarious. That was hilarious. He was getting mopped up. I don't blame him, man. You start moving a different way. I get it.
Yeah,
My
Sam.
man probably couldn't even sleep at night.
Nah, not at all. Like you said, he was seeing ghosts. So I mean, if you seeing ghosts, wake your ass up. But anyway, man. I mean,
To be determined. We'll see.
to be determined, man. So that concludes our show, everybody. Great show, fellas. So we'll be back. As always, make sure you subscribe. All major platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube page. Until next time, everybody, take it easy.